A very warm good morning to all my brilliant students of Sri Gokulam Public School. This is Nida ma'am with you and we are into another English online class. Children, in today's class we are going to start with the lesson, the story of the cricket. Now we all know that cricket is a widely accepted and is the favorite game of almost everyone in India. So how did this cricket start? What is the history of this cricket? Let us just explore more about this fantastic and fabulous game that we are absolutely in love with. Now, the story of the cricket begins like with any other stick and ball games. Cricket also happened to be a stick and ball game which was initially played in England almost 500 years ago. Phew, that's a huge history that we have. The word bat is an English word which means stick or a club. Okay. Now, from the 17th century, cricket has undergone a lot of evolutions. Initially, like I said, it was just a stick and ball game. Then it evolved into a bat, okay, which had curves and at the bottom. So like that, the bat was evolved in that manner, almost similar to hockey sticks. Then the ball. The ball was almost bowled underarm and along the ground, okay, and this made a better contact for the player with the bat. There are many peculiarities in this game, like the time duration of the game being played. Okay, one of the peculiarities is that there is something called as test match. We have all watched these test series between Australia and India and Sri Lanka. A lot of test series we have seen. Now, test series or a test match can go up to 5 days, and in the end it can also be a draw game, and no other modern sport can take that much time. Okay, we already know that football is played for only 1.5 hours, and a baseball, which is a shortened version of modern cricket, is completed with just 9 innings. Another peculiarity of this sport, cricket, is that the length of the pitch. The ground is never specified, unlike the other games. For example, hockey or football, they have got a strict dimension of how the ground should be. Whereas in cricket, the ground can be of oval shape, or it can be of a circular shape. Now, according to this, a player has to make adjustments with his game. For example, a 6 at Melbourne cricket ground will have to cover more distance than it will have to do at Firoz Shah Kotla in Delhi. So, you might have heard that when you are listening to the commentators, when a game is going to start, they will describe about the ground. They will say that, okay, this is going to be tough to get sixes and fours over here because the ground is bigger. Or they would say that it is so easy to get sixes and fours over here because the ground is small. So, that according to that, the player has to make changes. Next, we are going into the different rules and regulations of the game. So, like I said, it started almost in the 17th century. So, a lot of evolutions had taken place. So, there was something called the laws of cricket. Okay, cricket was the first modern team sport to have rules and regulations and written rules and regulations, which was written in the year 1744. So the first 4 main rules of this game was that there needed to be 2 umpires. Now, I'm not going into the details of the games because you already know what the game is. It's a very commonly played game. So all of us know the rules. So the first rule of having 2 umpires, that was written way long back in the 17th century. Then about the stumps. So initially there were only two stumps which was having a height of 22 inches, and the bail which is kept on the top of the stump, it has to be of 6 inches. The ball was around 5 to 6 ounces of weight it needed to have, and the distance between the stumps, okay, two sets of stumps, was 22 yards. So these were all the technical aspects of the game which was written. The first cricket club was formed in England, in Hambledon, in 1760. Then in the year 1787, the Marylebone Cricket Club, or MCC, was formed, and through these clubs the different bowling formats, okay, was devised and developed in through these clubs, like the swinging, the pace, the spinning, all these things of bowlers was developed during those times, okay. And later on, an addition or an evolution that happened was the change of the shape in the bat, okay. It was more curved than being a straight one. The weight of the ball also was, coming to a lighter ball with 5.5 to 5.3 both ounces. Then third stump became to be introduced. Then the length of the match was changed to 3 days, and then first team, okay, the team was again devised during this year. That is, a 6-member team was formed. Then if you look at a closer look at the sports items, that was also keeping on changing, okay. Initially the bat was made of leather, twine and cork. The ball and the bat were handmade. Then later on, with technology developing, with industry developing, then European colonists and trading companies were setting up in Asia. So they were getting a lot of raw material from the Asian countries. So with this changes, the sports items also began to change, and then we had materials used like plastic, fiberglass and metals. So we had lightweight protective metals were there, protective equipments like volumized rubber for pads, introduction of protective gloves and helmets, all these lightweight synthetic materials used, and a lot of changes came during the later years. Now let us get into how cricket was originated in India. So all this time this was just purely a sport of the English people or the European people. Now English colonized India, and then cricket was introduced in India also. So in India, cricket originated in Bombay. So initially in Bombay there was a community called as the Parsis, okay. Still now they are there in Bombay. So these Parsis were in close contact of the British in terms of trade, and Parsis are basically tradesmen, okay. So in merchants they are. So Parsis and British people, they were always in connection. So again cricket developed amongst the Parsis. So the Parsis formed the first cricket club in India, which is the Oriental Cricket Club in Bombay, in the year 1848. Now at the same time there was also a cricket club for the British, which is the Bombay Gymkhana, which is a purely British or the English club. The Parsis were also supported by the major business groups during that time, that is the Wadiyas and the Tatas. Now these two teams, which is the Bombay Gymkhana and the Oriental Cricket Club, often came into conflict about the place for playing the game. Now there was a public park over there. The Parsis complained that the Bombay Gymkhana, they were also having lot of different kind of activities by the Bombay Gymkhana. So they used to have horse riding. So the horses were all destroying or damaging the parks over there. Then these two teams started arguing and fighting based on that, and finally to solve this problem they said that they will put up a cricket match. okay, to find out which team is better or which team gets to play in which park and also. And surprisingly, that match was won by the Parsis. The two main aspects of the modern cricket are Test and One Day International. Now we have got the 2020 matches also. Yes, that is also very great highlight of this game. Now both the games are played between the national teams, which is the Test and the One Day Internationals. They are played between the national teams, and the players who are playing these matches are definitely so famous, so widely accepted. They are like the heroes of our nation, and there are so many earlier heroes which the story explains over here, like CK Naidu, who was an outstanding batsman of his time. He is considered to be one of the die-hard Indian fans. He was the captain of the first ever test match which was played in India. Television coverage was also a changing point in the sport. First, it made the audience huger, and the coverage could be now seen by people living in small towns and villages. Secondly, it broadened the sport fan following, okay, as it gave children a new opportunities. After television coverage, then came the technology of satellite television. Now, this created a global market for the sport, and which is the modern version of the cricket now. India has the largest audience for the game amongst the cricket playing nation, and this is why the game center shifted from Europe to South Asia. 150 years ago, the Parsis were the first Indian cricketers had to struggle for an open place to play in. However, today, with the help of technology and global market, Indian players are the best players and the most famous cricketers. There is no struggle for them. Even a small area can be converted into a cricket ground. This is the most commonly day-to-day game or a sport that is played by even the smallest children of our nation. Every option and opportunity is available for them. There is a huge transformation made by smaller changes. First is, of course, the payment. Okay, there is a huge amount is paid for these cricket professionals. Second is the triumph of one day games. We all know that how fervently we watch these one day games. It is a matter of prestige, like do or die thing for us. When India wins a one day match, it's like a festival for us. Thirdly, there is remarkable changes in the global commerce and technology. The global marketplace for sports provides a larger number of golden opportunities for the players. So that's all about the game or the sport that we are so much into. So till we meet again, have a wonderful day and keep studying hard. Be good children. Thank you.